Okay, abusuya Solomon Owusu ababe Worsen Akuffo Addo ne National Cathedral Scandal na case na enye asam keto akra sisi ano Akuffo Addo Solomon Owusu se okoko face court no na or prosecution no or prosecute no with immediate effect one Ken Oforiata sisi abusuya enye asam keto akra ntino Akuffo Addo de sisi ano National Cathedral Scandal ne de oyi no ho frima enye because ono ena ose oye den osi edan de ahye nyankopon din animonyam na eche se eye ono ne nyankopon mienu ntamasem se wensi no yenim de nyankopon edebem bet eye se accountability eye adwuma Solomon Owusu se eye se court no eye quick na omo prosecute no animanim ya yense mo yanko na yankonkoti ensema Solomon Owusu de etuja unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofron so ensa entumi enkabi aha eye Ghana Politics Avenue so medamase
signatures to a document that exposed the rot not only in the National Cathedral but its entire governance architecture.
No, but they have to be prosecution witnesses. I mean,
of course.
Once they resign and once people are being prosecuted, they must elect themselves to be prosecution witnesses so that we can nail them.
Yeah, but you see, then it will be very interesting to see one Pepper and Salt Ministries.
Pepper and Salt, Aye.
Yes, Joyce.
Joyce Aye.
She defended this to the hilt.
Till date, she is defending it.
And it will be sad to see. Maybe we should do community service. We should consider a lot of community service.
So now coming back to that, because there are different dimensions to this conversation,
yes.
And I want to believe that the first submission was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Now let's delve into the nitty-gritties of the matter.
Yes.
I think you have done so. Prince has also done so by also drawing into the conversation the relevancy of the trade fair matter.
Yes.
Because it's not diametrically opposed.
Yes.
They are one and the same.
Yes.
So let's look at the issue of procurement.
Yes.
Because I think it's one of the issues that both of you raised,
yes.
But we've not dealt with it substantially.
Yes.
The issue of so the procurement is one.
Yes.
Number two, the issue of payments which were made.
Yes.
And I don't know whether David Ajayi came in as a local.
No, he was a foreign
fantastic.
So he didn't have a license.
That's another one.
Even raise issues.
Yes. Then for payments to be made to such entities, it must go to Parliament.
Yes. Yes.
So all those ones were not dealt with.
No. Not at all.
So let's get into the meat, the food. Let's eat the food now. Eat the food for me.
You see, procurement. They did not follow any of the procurement laws of the land. In fact, they started paying the man without going to the procurement authority. They had paid him 5 million cedis. They signed the original contract somewhere on the 20th of August 2019. In fact, the administration went to the procurement authority and got approval on the 13th of December 2018. By the 13th of December 2018, they had already paid advance 5 million plus to David Ajayi. You understand? Issue of sole sourcing. Kwame, you know the conditions under which someone will be chosen on a sole source basis. That the services that the person is going to provide is so unique, so specialized, that he alone is the only person in the market. Kwame, the question is, well, in this country, you want to tell me that the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has been producing architects? They are all dumb. We have useless architects in this country to the extent that every building in this country that we have constructed was designed by David Ajayi. When did David Ajayi become an architect? But I don't blame him. I blame the so weakened Ghana Architect Council or so for them to allow this thing to happen. Initially they raised issues, but within a few days they compromised. They changed their positions. There were explanations that were offered, so they are good to go. You understand. So in terms of procurement, they have flouted everything of it, and that is how come in the wisdom of the trustees they know that the president, as we are all discussing, enjoys some immunity. So when it's 50-50, so go and ask President Akuffo Addo. He engaged David Ajayi. Then the Nehemiah Group do the same thing. They never went to any proper procurement.
Did we? Okay, as Ghanaians, are we also complicit in some of these retrogressive decisions which were taken by the previous administration. I can understand, you know, the bottlenecks that we may have faced.
Yes.
But if you put parity with other countries and how they stand ready to defend the sanctity of the country, you know, if you pull parity with that of Ghana, it appears sometimes we are a little laissez-faire.
No, but I mean, in
demanding real accountability from our leaders.
Kwame, we don't have headers anymore in this country. I'm telling you. You see, people are so much fixated on money.
Yeah.
Money is what is determining our conscience, how we are supposed to behave.
Yeah.
So you will see an elderly defending an obvious nonsense, and you ask yourself, what from this? Didn't we have adults in this country, elders in this country, from within even the NPP administration, for that matter the government, who could have looked straight into the face of the president and said, look, Mr. President, what you are doing is utter bullshit. Excuse my friend this morning. That you are committing the country into a promise that you yourself have with your God. Again, you are making payments. You yourself as a lawyer knows that without any subsistence or concrete agreement, you don't make payment. You started making payment to this effect. Who would do that? Allow me, who is not a lawyer, or PDA, who is not a lawyer, to even do that, for you, the lawyer, to come and advise us that next time don't do this. The lawyer himself, the one who quoted the law, they call him the law. Is the one who flouted this. So it's that mix, and I believe that going forward, you see, irrespective of your political affiliation, Kwame, one of the things that builds a country is looking straight into your own and calling them out.
Yeah.
When the country develops, it develops for you and I.
All of us, yeah.
Are we happy seeing that? Anytime I'm going to Parliament area and see what they have done, it's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. You know, and one of the problems that I have realized, Kwame, go and read about the baby boomers. You know, this generation of Akuffo Addo's age type.
Yeah.
They were born during the baby booming era.
Yeah.
You know what? They have enjoyed life. Kwame, the millennials and all those folks, we have suffered.
We are suffering.
In our generation, we have suffered.
We are still suffering.
This was a generation that could go on demonstration because they were giving chicken at the university.
Yes.
During their time, they were sleeping one at on the various campuses. By the time you will finish university, there's a job and a car. You were starting as a manager. During their time, go to the various campuses. Students are sleeping 30, 40. They don't even have a place. Go to Bawumia and Medina and all those areas. Go and see where students are.
Converted all those ones into hostels.
Those that enjoy freebies are now making life hell for everybody. And on top of that, when they are giving resources, they mismanage it. They mismanage it. So clearly, the Procurement Act is what must lead to the prosecution of all those that mattered in this National Cathedral, particularly President Akuffo Addo and Ken Ofori-Atta, because Ken Ofori-Atta was also the one who was making the payments.
Yeah. Without recourse to Parliament, without recourse.
I know one interesting thing. In one breath, they were making some payments in cedis. In another breath, they were making it in dollars. You don't even know which is which. So the Deloitte and Touch, and mind you, as I said, they were commissioned by the national the body self, so they could have even been magnanimous. That is why the angle of having a forensic audit is so crucial. I'm telling you the sort of things that are going to be reviewed. How people will run away.
People are saying that they don't have a lot of trust in the special prosecutor to thoroughly investigate.
No, I agree with them.
Deal with these
matters. I agree with them.
Yeah,
I agree because
well, I don't have any evidence whatsoever to back what I'm about to put forward, but the presumption is that it appears, because you see, who was Anas's lawyer?
That was him.
Yes, and against Ken Ejapong.
Yes.
Remember they wanted to kill Ken Ejapong. Remember?
I remember very well.
And he was lawyer to, I believe, Gabi Ochinako or somebody like that.
Yes, a lot, but
so people are saying that it appears that they put him there just to pretend to be working,
Kwame,
to frustrate the process and obfuscate matters.
Kwame, you are not far from right.
Okay.
You are not far from. You see, let's call a spade a spade.
So even all this Ken thing is just a facade.
But if not for that, you and I were in this country recently. 3 of our boys, they call them the game boys.
Yeah.
The what do you call it? The
Frosters.
Frosters. We were in this country when the US brought an extradition order, which was signed on by the Interior Minister, presented to the court, and as we speak, what are the boys?
America.
So who is deceiving you that it's so difficult to get Kenoforiata back to Ghana? Who is deceiving you? Who is deceiving you that? Look, the way and manner they are handling Mustafa Hamid. You understand? As though government money, now all of us have agreed that when you are given an opportunity, just come and chop, and at the end they will use semantics to just blindfold the people of this country. We normalize corruption. And that's why you see almost any young man on our various campuses want to enter into politics. But that is the easy avenue to be a rich person.
Right now, Mahama is not making it easy at all.
No, he has to arrange it.
No, I mean, in terms of even his own appointee, it's not easy for now. People are running away from appointment.
Kwame is public service.
It's public service, master.
You will say.
You know, people are running away. A lot of people are running. Now, when Mahama calls them, oh, hello, Kofi Menka, and Kwame Totobi. I have this appointment. Mr. President. Take your appointment.
But you probably, when you were growing up, I mean, the constituencies that I lived, it was very difficult to even get 2 people contested for parliamentary.
Yeah.
Because
right now
it was rather service.
Yeah.
You get my point. But this time around, these are monocrats. They are not Democrats, or monocrats.
Yeah.
Who are just there to milk. So in terms of the National Cathedral, Kwame, this is a fine opportunity to clean the system. It's a fine opportunity to call out those that deceive people in the name of God, deceive people in the name of Allah, deceive people with religious connotations. We are in a country where Agrada, by day she is a fetish priest, by night she is a pastor, and we entertain all sort of this. And the National Communication Authority, what are you sitting down doing there? You need to sanitize the digital space. Go there. Some of them, just I'll give you a lotto number. Go and stake, you win. And we give all these people opportunity to deceive the minds of the vulnerable. Either how can this woman come and tell us like Sikagari and have men also going there?
Yeah.
Because once you use the name of God, Kwame, when you mention the name of God, Azan people, they will come and behave as though heavens are coming down.
Remember when we were kids, growing up in Asantuma, we had all these magicians. The question is, where are they? All of them. Remember when we were growing up? All the magicians, you go, where are they?
When you go to KJT, those
when
they realize you are seeing them. Look, they used to have this
Adana one.
Adana,
no, is it
the one that they have products in a
oh yes! Now a man,
I was going to school, I go to KJT. A man, he had been taken, I was on with the last one. The guy saw TV. The guy was jubilated. I want TV. I said, hey, you haven't won TV. It's TV cabin soap. There is a soap in there. Go and see if I can KJT. All these people have now gotten into it. They have read Genesis to Revelation.
Oh yeah,
they are using it to run
people. Anyway,
must be accorded to the states if the state does need it, only for national developmental purposes. And so, if judges' accommodation, National Passport Office, and other state institutions are on it, including even diplomatic, property are on it, that is fine. But let us put ourselves in the context of when that project started. That's when Akuffo Addo dreamt that nightmare of a dream of, and I don't know which God he serves. I don't. And so I'm not going to pretend it's the same God you and I serve. I don't. I mean, I've seen a picture of him with those horns you're talking about from one pastor who's bleached himself. I don't really remember the name. A bleached pastor.
Uzubemba.
That's his name, right?
But why are you also afraid to mention his name?
I don't recall the name. I saw the bleached pastor giving him horns, and it didn't come with a name, but I believe that's the name. And so if the God I serve doesn't believe in horns, so I don't think it's my God. Is that your God?
No.
I don't think it's Allah either. Allah doesn't believe in horns. So that is a different Akuffo Addo God, which we did not vote for. We didn't vote for Akuffo Addo and his God. Oh. So if he has his private pact with his God, that is his personal matter. It's not a presidential matter, let alone the people's matter. Now, the people of Osu, through lawyer Bright Akwete, went to court to injunct the process.
Yeah.
Injunct the process. Now, I want to believe very strongly the Chief Justice at the time, Chief Justice Sofa Akuffo, all right, is alleged by not the Reverend, not the one with the dual passport, dual mother, identity, different, date of birth. Not that one. There's another gentleman. He's a doctor something.
Paul Opoku. He's a secretary.
Yeah, the one who was at the presidency receiving salary.
Yeah, Paul Opoku.
Mensa. That's right. He claimed, and Worsen also came to affirm him on national. But let me mention the station, Joy FM and Joy News TV. He confirmed that Chief Justice Sofa Akuffo gave them judicial permission to circumvent the injunction and the court processes and start work. Charlie, boss, you are the lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Counsel.
Yes, my boss.
Is there any such thing as judicial permission to ignore court processes that are way underway and proceed when an issue is injuncted? That's a chief justice. Even Tokeno wouldn't do that. Tokeno wouldn't do that. So why did Sofa Akuffo do that? In fact, Sofa Akuffo of all people, the person who bought my land in cantonments for 7,000 Ghana cedis.
That is what even freaks me.
Why would she do that? So in this net must be dragged all the cockroaches.
Absolutely.
All the roaches must come on board. And the roaches will not end with Akuffo Addo. Justice Sofa Akuffo must speak. She's speaking now.
Yes.
She's a member of the Council of State, and I expect that she will speak to this issue and say that it is not true. She did not give any submission, in which case that doctor must be hauled. Reverend Worsen must be hauled, because these two may have made false claims against the Chief Justice, who said nothing at the time but can't speak now. She's no longer Chief Justice. She must speak. Now, beyond the land matter, and of course the value of the land must be taken into consideration. You maybe stated a figure about $30 million. $30 million, which the Osu people got nothing for.
Yes.
Which the Osu people who even were finding it difficult to have a palace. I mean, if that place had been used for the Osu palace, I'm sure the Osu people would have been happy. But that's not what the use should have been to. What national purpose could that have served? And that for me is critical. I believe that there were state institutions on it. Judges' bungalows were demolished. Judges' bungalows, some of whom were still in residence. I remember one such judge even resigned because of that. He was being handed out of that premise. And then know what happened? When they were relocated, and not again, no, Osu land has been taken for this stupid purpose, quote unquote. Then the judges are relocated to land. So I am affected by this decision because they were moved to airport and cantonments. And so our lands there were also impacted. That is the land matter alone. Then there were private people also on these whose properties were demolished. We are promoting private businesses, and yet we demolish private property, including businesses, thriving businesses. And some of them have sued the country. And these people would expect to be compensated. Is it Ghanaian taxpayers who are supposed to pay?
Now who?
Or Akuffo Addo and his God? At the end of the day, financial loss has been occasioned. And so now, who must bear the cut? Akuffo Addo is not above the law. And the law must be tried and tested. This is a case, a perfect oral case.
It's a perfect one.
It's a perfect oral case. The land must be retrieved. And sadly, do you know what has happened?
Tell me.
Kusipati and his gang, they are claiming that the land, even President Mahama has no right to question anything about that land. And that the land has been given to them. Can you imagine? And that the project must go on. Hey!
We sell the land for it.
No, what was going on here? And you see, sadly, you guys in the media, civil society, I hold you guys responsible for part of the things that are going on in this country. A section of the media will refuse to talk about this. Civil society will not talk about this just because they are trying to protect some particular people and some particular political interests. And you put it even differently about the pastoral interests. Some of the pastors are not going to be responsible for this that has happened because a lot of them spoke. I remember some resigned.
Yeah, some resigned.
And those who resigned said why they resigned. They said they had no control over what was going on. The board had no control. The thing was being managed from the presidency.
Sure.
Now, who in the presidency was calling the shots? No. Was it President Akuffo Addo? Was it Bawumia? Who was calling the shots? And I'll take you to the trade fair so we can understand the circumstances of this. There is a parallel, a complete parallel to this in the trade fair, in the marine drive, in several other national developmental projects that were undertaken under Akuffo Addo. The same David Ajayi was given contracts, the trade fair contract, to redesign. Yeah. When indeed there was originally a design.
Yeah.
He was again, like this one, paid before he was given even the contract.
How can we do that to us?
He was prepaid, and I had board minutes of the trade fair confirming that, which had been signed by the board chairman and the board secretary, that the gentleman was paid before even her contract was signed.
Wow.
So I'm not disputing at all what the pastors have said in the case of the National Cathedral.
Yes. They said they didn't know anything about it.
David Ajayi, in the case of the trade fair redevelopment project, was not only given the contract, he was handpicked. He was so sourced and imposed. So who did that imposition? If we find the person who did it here is the same person who did it there and elsewhere. Now I'll say again, David Ajayi, in fact, in the case of the trade fair, you know what he did? He and the CEO, they went to see the CEO of the cocoa board to take 50 acres of the land, and they didn't have any plan for what we're going to use.
You mean David Ajayi himself was taking 50 acres of the land?
He and the
CEO of cocoa board,
the one who Ken Oforiatta personally signed her appointment letter. Gabby's friend, who he brought from Canada.
Oh, I see.
The dentist from Canada that Gabby brought. Ken Oforiatta signed his her appointment letter. In fact, he go and ask your boss. The two of you, your boss, Alan Chemantin, was sidestepped and met Alan in his office.
Yes.
Over the trade fair thing, he was totally sidelined. So Alan cannot be held responsible.
No.
In fact, the good news is that Ken has put himself in the diving shoe for the prosecution in the case of the trade fair related activities and exonerated Alan. Because he sidestepped him. He took over control, total. Alan, thank your God for allowing the man to take the burden off you. But I say to you that there were documents that compelled them to abandon the $2 billion investment that they went to sign in Dubai. President Akuffo Addo himself went there.
Yes.
He even dodged McDan, the board chairman. He dodged him. And went to Dubai to go and sign a $2 billion thing. Why did he abandon it? Because the document was sitting at Parliament waiting for him. They abandoned the thing and have shared the land. That is exactly what Kusipati and others want to do with this land. They want to share the land.
And I agree.
And a company was formed. A company was formed for the National Cathedral. A JV. All sorts of criminals were brought into this thing, including the Mahama group in the US. And I think we must thank Honorable Kujeto for a sterling job that he did in this expose.
Yeah.
He's done fantastically well. He went to the US, traced the people, and actually caught the man in his
some small room. Cannot even take care of it.
We've been cheated in this country for too long. And Akuffo Addo In fact, when the prosecution starts, it should not be in camera.
No, this one, the constitution does not say it must be in camera. We are not removing a CJ or a justice of the High Court or Superior Court. This one is a criminal matter that we can have access to. Absolutely. So this one has nothing to do with Togano.
Okay. So Togano, you hear me? We'll watch this one live. Akuffo Addo in the dock.
To be nice.
Cross-examined by Ajayi and others. But you see, on a serious note, I think Duncan Williams must be congratulated together with Dag Heward-Mills and all those who resigned.
Okay, abusunya wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway so Solomon Owusu and ayete nka se odema Akuffo Addo left right center back enye asam keto akra bedam say some jepene kokoti sa ensem way edemai aha Ghana politics avenue so medam say